Jesus here, filming for the 4th time this Garmore Deck Profile. Why do I say the number of how many times I filmed it? Just to humor myself, really. Alright, so here's the starter. Young Lion, Liberator, Romanus, Counterblast, retire him, GB. You give 2 units the ability to get 3k from when a Liberator is, when another unit is called from the deck. So, he's good. Hate him because he missed his timing with the Garmore Excel, but whatever. Okay, next we play 4 Garmore Excel because he's the new Garmore. That's actually really good. His stride skill is Counterblast 1. When you stride onto a unit with Liberator or Garmore in its name, you look at the top 3 cards, you call 2, and you put the other one at the bottom of the deck. His other skill is at the end of your turn, you can choose 2 Liberators, put them at the bottom of the deck, and draw a card. Next we play 3 of the original Garmore. Because of the fact that it's a Garmore deck, he's a Liberator, and his skills aren't that bad. Counterblast 3 to fill up your entire field if you have open rearguard circles. Hey, not too bad. And he also has a skill to pick a Liberator, put it at the bottom of the deck when he attacks to get 4k. He also has Luard, so it goes against domination players, but you won't be going up against those. Yo. Okay, so then the last grade 3 is a bit of a meme, but Liberator, Monarch, Sanctuary, Alfred. The reason I play this guy is because he gets over Crisis, and he generally isn't too bad, actually. His Limit Break 5 works out in this deck because I play Blaster Blade Liberator, but that's mainly just for... It's not a meme, but it's just for fun. You could definitely play other cards besides this guy. You could play a Legion type deal. Instead of playing the 4 Garmores and this guy, you could play the Legion, the bluish flame ones. I'm not too familiar with those. Well, aside from liberating the lock, and gaining the 10k and a crit, he also has the skill to gain 1,000 for every rear guard. So he basically has the skill that Ezel has that he got from Alfred. He also has Lord. So that's the grade 3s. For grade 2s, we play the new Aglavale clone. I don't play Aglavale because 1, he's too much, and 2, I don't think he's that good. Why do I not think Aglavale's that good? It's because of the fact that he requires an open rearguard circle. More often than not, in your late game, you won't be having a rearguard circle that's open. I played the Jargle Liberator. His original name was a lot better. Counterblast, Soul Blast. When he's placed from deck onto the rearguard circle, you look at the top 3 cards, call 2, and put the other one at the bottom of the deck. So he does what Aglavale does, except Aglavale doesn't have to be called from the deck. Next, we play the reason this deck is a thing. Attack to turn Liberator Brenius. Brenius has a built-in skill where he gains 2k whenever a unit that has Liberator is called from the deck. He also gets a skill that when he hits a Vanguard, you pick a card in your damage zone and you flip it face up. Now the thing about this guy is this skill stacks. So if you call 3 cards, he counter charges 3. If you call 4 cards, he counter charges 4. See what I'm going with? Eventually you'll be counter charging 5 if you're lucky. Alright, so then the last grade 2 I play is Blaster Blade Liberator. Reason I play Blaster Blade Liberator is because he retires, so it's not too bad, and also the fact that I play him along with 3 White Rainbow Liberator Balan. He is a Doran clone, the Blaster Friend Barco clone. You know, he calls. When you call a Blaster Blade in front of him, you counter charge. Sometimes people guard Brenius, and sometimes you just can't get that draw trigger, or the stand trigger. You don't play draws in gold, what? Next I play Liberator Improved Falcon. He improves the state of the game, just kidding. He helps you unlocking, and generally he also calls out, because you pick 2 cards on the field, you put them at the bottom of the deck, you look at the top 3, and you call one of those. That's a specialty that golds always give. Then this guy right here, we play Easegull Liberator. He's makes it easier to stride. He has a skill that when you bind him from hand, you unlock a card and it gets 2k, but it doesn't matter because when you unlock it, you're going to be, activating Crisis, his skill, and if your opponent decides to, he could legit just say, yeah, retire that thing. You also have his stride skill, which he gives to a Liberator Vanguard, which by putting him at the bottom of the deck, he gives your Vanguard the ability to counterblast one card with Liberator to stride for free. Next, we play Unos because big numbers are something that golds love getting. So this guy gets 3k whenever a unit is called from deck to the field. Next, we play two of these boys. Physical Force Liberator Zoran. When he is called from the deck, you put him into the soul, look at the top 3 cards, and call 1. So he continues your mass calling. It's just like the trigger lineup we have. Catch Call. 4 Catch Call. He's a stand trigger, so you'll be standing your Baranius. And also the fact that his skill is when he's called from the top of the deck, or when he's called from the deck, you can shove him to the bottom, look at the top 3, and call 1 except for himself. So then after that we play play 4 Epona crits and 4 of the new crit. The Epona crits you can replace with Scarface Lion. He's just in my Gurgwib deck right now. You can also replace it with any Liberator High Beast that there is. The reason I don't have a High Beast taking her spot is because of the fact that I don't have any High Beasts. If I did have a High Beast crit that was a Liberator, I'd play that in a heartbeat. Then Liberator Shaggy Rabbit to get your counter charge and soul charge. You do that by using him to pay the cost for a G for one of your G Guardians, and it works out. Alright, so for the strides, we're gonna play 1 Radiant Sword Gurguit because you can make some ridiculous numbers with this guy, especially if you haven't gone into your Garmore deck, into your Garmore stride. I mean, usually you will be going to. This guy is if you know your opponent doesn't have any Perfect Guards or G Guardians. Even then, most G Guardians can't touch the number that he gets to. Then we got Garmore here. Garmore is the face of the deck. He has the skill down here that everybody loves to use. Counter Blast 1, Soul Blast 1. If you have a card with Garmore in its heart and its card name, look at the top 3 cards, call 1, put the rest at the bottom and shuffle the deck. Basically, you use his skill with Brenius and Bruno and just stack those boys up. He also has a skill where you put a card underneath from your drop zone to the bottom of the deck to look at the top 6 cards, reveal them. If you reveal 4 High Beasts, you give up to 4 units, the 4k, and you also give him a crit. Next I play the new staple in every gold deck, Gurgway Helios. He is a first stride quad drive, and as GB3 he is a guard restrict as well. So no longer will you have to play Bluish Flames to get a guard restrict, and no longer will you have to waste a turn legioning. Next I play 4 copies of Glorious Reigning Dragon. He gets you multiple attacks off because his skill is Unite, Counter Blast 1, and choose a face down card. You choose a face down copy of him, turn it face up, and you pick 2 units, put them at the bottom of the deck. When he attacks, you look at the top 7 cards and call cards equal to the amount of units you have face up in your G zone. If you call 3 or more, you counter charge 1 and soul charge 1. So his skill is free. Then I play Solemn Gritter because he's the new Liberator card. He has the coolest name ever. So his skill is Act. Once per turn, counter blast 1 if you have a hard card with Liberator in its name. You look at the top 3 and call 2. Put the rest at the bottom of the deck in any order, so you just put that 1. Then the 4 G Guardians, 2 Slay Me, 1 Rhea, and Elise. Elise is there because she's a Liberator. Doesn't really matter because there's no skills that require a Liberator during your opponent's turn. Rhea, she's always been there since she came out because she's not that bad. She's pretty good. And then we got Slay Me Flare, who moves a unit to the bottom of the deck in order to look at the top 5 and call 2. So he's always good. Well, let's hope that vacuum cleaner doesn't ruin this video. Thanks for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe. And remember to always pick a proper time to film a video. And that's it. I don't have any waiting reports.